Fucking crazy! Harry! Here! Kill you for the... Hit me! Hit me!
Hey guys, I'm Clint WOOO. Welcome back to another Division 2 video, and this, yes, is another WOOO build, and this is out the box, crazy as crazy can be, off meta that people will not use this way. If it tells you to run north, I am going in the opposite direction because this is something you should not do, but I'm going to show you what I've done, and it is crazy, it is really good, and it synergizes perfectly with the build. Yes, as you've seen, it's a Diamondback exotic rifle build for PvE and PvE alone, and this is centered around that and the BTSU gloves. Take a look at this build. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm rolling with the survivalist specialization, and in doing so that gives me that 10% extra skill haste when I'm on cover, and that is integral to the build. Make sure you use survivalist, in my opinion. You can go for sharpshooter to get the extra headshot damage. However, I've gone down the route of survivalist because I like the 10% skill haste. Also, the 15% protection from elites. But by all means, you roll however you want to roll. Now, I have 4 offensive stats, 4 defensive stats, 10 utility stats. My gear score is 494. My armor is 238k. My health is 27k. And my skill power is 2676. This is a skill build with a decent amount of armor that shows that this is really strong and that does a lot of damage via your weapon and your skills, and they do synergize really, really well. So we'll start with the mask. It is a Province Defense mask. That's 10% skill power, skill haste is 21%, plus 81 skill power, surge, which is another 20% skill haste, so that's 41% on the mask. We'll go to the chest piece, and it's ultimate armament, skill haste and skill power. A chunk of skill power is 945, that's really good. A nice roll of armor of 18.5%. The talent capacitive, which is 20% skill duration. And the mods, which is armor, total armor protection from elites. Skill power, increasing snare, and increased blind duration, which synergizes well with the Firefly. Armor, armor regen, and total armor. Now the holster is a Wyvernware holster, and I'm rolling with that for the simple reason is it gives me 7% critic damage and 11.5% critic damage as the attribute. So that's a nice 18.5% just on the holster, and I'm going to get a talent, a multiplicative talent, my add, precise. That's plus 15% headshot damage. Now the mods, it is offensive mod, which is weapon damage, assault rifle damage, and rifle damage of 3%. I don't have great rifle damage mods. You guys, I'm sure, will have much better than what I have. So they're quite piss poor, in all honesty, but this works. The knee pads is explosive damage through the Charlotte Industries Corporation. It is what it is in all honesty, but I wanted these two attributes. One, skill power to boost up my skill power to around about 2.6, and the talent calculated. Kills from cover reduce skill cooldowns by 10%. This is really strong because you are spending all your time in cover, so you will get your skills back in no end, given this also synergizes with your sniper turret, which is great. Weapon damage and damage to armor of 1%. Now the BTSU gloves. Now, elemental gadgetry. Skills that apply status effects gain plus 50% status effects duration and 50% skill haste. So that's why I'm using the Firefly to get the blind duration on. And as soon as that's on, that gives my blue gloves the red glow, which is great. And that means they're infused. So whenever you apply a status effect, your gloves will become infused with that effect for 60 seconds. While infused, you gain plus 10% skill damage, plus 10% skill healing and repair, and 10% skill duration for each utility stat that you have. Now, as you can see to the left, I have 10 utility stats. That's my sniper turret. That gives me an extra 100% skill damage, which is really cracking. It's really good. And with that, and that will make sure that I hit plus 1 million on this build through the sniper turret. Charge proxies. Whenever you throw a skill 1.25 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion that applies the infused status effect to all enemies within 6 meters. Enemies affected by the infused status effect take 50% more damage from your skills. The mods are skill power increasing snare and XP weak point kills, skill power increased blind duration, XP weak point kills, and armor on kill, and total armor. Now the backpack. The backpack is the second piece of Epsom armament. This is an old school 457 gear score. I've had this since as soon as I entered World Tier 5. Now it's tech support, which is kills by active skills grant plus 25% skill damage for 10 seconds. Destructive, 20% explosive damage. Again, I'm not going to garner anything from that. However, with tech support is when I take an enemy down, that will give me 10 seconds for my sniper to reload, and I will get another 2 hits of plus 25% skill damage. So this is pretty cool in all honesty. Skill power, turret skill power, hive skill power, weapon damage, rifle damage, and marksman rifle damage. Now we go through the weapons. It's the Diamondback, the talent Agonizing Bite. Diamondback randomly marks an enemy. Hitting an enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit with a plus 20% total damage. A new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. Deep Fangs, after hitting 5 marked enemies, gain plus 50% reload speed, plus 20% total damage, and all shots fired are guaranteed crit hits for 10 seconds. Shedding Skin, while drawn, each time a round is loaded, gain plus 20% bonus armor for 3 seconds. While holstered, each time you reload or feed your current weapon, you gain plus 8% bonus armor. And given there's no healing on the build, this is pretty cool because once you get your ass in cover and you're reloading, you've got that cracking bit of armor as well. The mods: accuracy, damage to elite, stability, critic damage. Now in terms of the secondary is the military G36, and I'm using that only for this equipped talent, which is rooted. While equipped and in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds. Buff is lost when next in cover and can occur once every 60 seconds. So this pretty much means this is as soon as I hit cover, I will garner that 25% extra damage for 10 seconds. So that's another 2 shots. It's going to give me the extra 25% in all honesty. So this is twice every 60 seconds I'll get that extra 25% damage, which is a nice talent to have. Accuracy rounds, critic chance, damage to elites. And finally, in Rhythm is the talent to go for on here. While equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. Can occur once every 60 seconds. And they're the mods. Now let's take a look at the stats, then we'll go through the skills. The stats, we've seen the weapon and gear talents. Let's look at the bits and bobs. Weapon damage 116,000, that's okay. Again, I've seen 170, 175, so it is what it is. This is not about raw damage. It is not about that. Before anyone says, hey, I can hit harder. Yes, you can. Of course you can. This is a skill build. You know, this is utilizing the talent of getting more damage from this weapon, utilizing your skills, and it's a different way to roll with it before anyone wonders what's going on. Critic damage is 74%, headshot damage 75%. Again, if you're rolling with sharpshooter, you will get a bit more headshot damage, but I've opted for more skill haste and protection from elites, giving it a little bit squishy. 5.5% all weapons damage bonus, it is what it is, but 20% rifle damage bonus. And then 99% skill haste. So again, I want to get the skills back as quick as possible, but I have calculated, and calculated helps no end because I'm in cover all of the time. So that's at 10% per kill, and also synergizes with the turret as well. Now, blinder fly, you're looking, that's 10.6 second cooldown, and that gives me a 10-second blind duration. And the mods I've gone for: blind duration, skill haste, and skill haste. I'm not gone for max targets whatsoever. I won't hit them all in time, so 3 is perfect on this build. Just make sure you get your skill haste back as quick as possible so you can hit them for longer. And it's all about the primary, which is the sniper turret. 20.5 second cooldown. Again, that will be less given calculated. A duration of 360 seconds, health of 252,000. Damage of 543,000, which is crazy. 6 ammo, and the mods, some absolutely stone cold killer mods of 146% damage, 144.6% damage, and 94.3% skill haste. And this is a cracking setup for your sniper. That's how I would roll with it. 1 skill haste, you took damage, you are absolutely going to wreck with this turret. 1 shot on red bars and purple bars, 1 shot, simple as that. Dealing 1 million damage. 1 million damage. Thinking rooted, think tech support, you will get some crazy damage from this build. There you have it, guys. That is my Diamondback build, PvE skill build for the Division 2. I'm having so much fun rolling with this build. It is just silly amount of fun. It really is. I mean, again, the most optimal way to roll with this, most people will say, is damage. Go into weapon damage. Go to critic damage, because you're going to garner more damage through the weapon. I've opted to go a bit of halfway, and then using the skills to synergize and see how this can work as one. Or if you don't have enough critic damage on the build and it doesn't match, try this out. It is super fun in PvE. I'm rolling through challenging content quite easily. Heroic content just as easy, because it is an absolute breeze rolling with this build. Off meta, crazy box of frogs. Yep, that's what I do. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.